Hello everyone, this is the Archfiend, and welcome to the first in my series of videos. This is called How to Be a Chode. But actually it's called How to Be a Phucking Chode. I just have trouble pronouncing the PH in the word Phucking. Anyways, this is the first video, and what better topic to cover than politics? Now, a lot of you out there might be saying, oh boy, this is it. This is that episode where Archfiend is going to rip into those warmongering, war drum beating conservative Republicans and give them a dose of medicine they deserve. And then some of you out there might be saying, this is it. This is going to be where Archfiend rips into those tenderfoot, liberal, Democrat, tree-hugging hippies and give them a dose of medicine they deserve. Well, actually, I'm here to rip into both sides because guess what? Both sides contain a contingent of people that are just total asshole douchebag chodes. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, there's nothing wrong with affiliating yourself with a political party and saying I feel my side of the political spectrum is more right than the others, but it's this contingent that I want to speak of that absolutely gets in their mind that nothing that their leaders of the party say, nothing that people that speak on talk radio on behalf of their party say is ever wrong, and everything, and I mean everything that the other side proposes is always wrong. Now, a lot of people have wrote me messages about, Archfiend, why don't you ever do a rant on religion? Don't you know how messed up that shit is and how bad they're messing up the world? People get these fictitious beliefs about their fictitious make-believe men in the sky, and they follow the writings of their scriptures and do evil and bad things. Well, I would argue with a complete straight face that yes, there is a lot of bad that can happen from either religion or politics. But I would argue, like I said with a straight face, that the people that can follow religion can totally be more sane-minded than people that follow politics to an absolute T and take their shit way too seriously. One of the examples I want to give is, we'll start with politics, the war in Iraq. I want to say right off the bat, I was for this recent invasion of Iraq. I was one of these people saying, why are we wasting time waiting for the world to approve our actions? We need to go in there. We need to get this guy's weapons of mass destruction, and he needs to be removed from power. To now we are a few years down the road. No weapons of mass destruction were found. It looks like we're probably never going to be able to leave there, and the society is at best sketchy. And I'm looking back saying, why did we ever go in to begin with? The reason why I say that is because I have actual critical thought, and I can actually see something that I thought was good and now see as bad. You can have a contingency here now, and that contingency is of the hardcore conservative Republicans that will tell you to the end of time that the invasion in Iraq was a good thing. It was somehow good that Colin Powell went in front of the UN and told the world that Saddam Hussein has all these weapons of mass destruction. We know about them. We're going to go in there and get them. And even though we didn't find anything, those same contingent of people will tell you that it's great. We're going to help spread democracy in the Middle East now. We got a foothold there, and as a bonus, Iran is getting uppity. So if they step out of line, we're going to be able to pounce right on them from Iraq. Wait a second. Was that the reasons why we went there to begin with? How does shit like that get spun into something completely different halfway through the stream? That is why I cannot stand people that cannot critically look at what their side of the political spectrum is doing. What George W. Bush and his administration did was create a war that no one wants to be a part of, and if you had a sane mind, you would understand that. Would it be great if democracy spread over the Middle East? Possibly, but that's not why we went in there to begin with. Holy shit. So, anyways, people like Ann Coulter will tell you that the invasion of Iraq is a good thing, and there's no possible way, and this is the key part, no possible way that it could ever be seen as a bad thing. Like, if you ask some of these hardcore conservative Republicans, they will tell you that there was really no wrong in lying to the world about weapons of mass destruction. But that just makes me a hippie liberal, and I'm somehow twisting the truth or whatever, so I can't wait for the arguments that pop up about that. Now, I want to backtrack over because, like I said, I can tolerate people that follow their religions to a T over someone that follows their politics to a T. So let's backtrack over to religion here for a second. I would love for anyone to find any contingent group of any corner of the world you can find these people in. Find me a group of Catholics that will tell you that they are for what their church is doing to cover up the numerous scandals of priests molesting children in the churches. Can you tell me, anyone out there, that you can find a group of Catholics that would say, you know what the church is doing is for the best? You may find some, but in comparison to people that say for the Republican Party for the war in Iraq, I would say it's probably significantly less in comparison. And that is why I would argue the case that in religion, you can actually have the ability to have more critical thought than people that take their politics way too seriously. And that's the point I want to make here today. And that is why when you follow politics, and to be fair, you get it on the other side of the spectrum as well. I'll use Michael Moore as an example here. I mean, there are people that are in the Democratic Party, specifically liberals, that think every single thing that that tub of lard says is 100% truth. They watch his movies and think everything he says is just absolute gold, and people are insane not to follow everything he says and does and support him and see his movies and break box office records. But let's be realistic here. No one side is absolutely right. It is healthy to be critical and say, you know what, maybe there will be some good that comes out of the war in Iraq, and maybe there's something good that can come out of Obama's new healthcare reform. Because maybes are a part of life, and maybes, more often than not, turn out to be true. So that is why people are just absolute asshole douchebag chodes when you just say, I'm going to give up critical thought because guess what? Rush Limbaugh, the Republicans, Michael Moore, the Sean Hannitys of the world, those people that speak on behalf of my party are certainly correct. And anyone who says anything against them is certainly wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, that's just not the way to think. That is not the way to think at all. And it just baffles me that people get sucked into this, and for the most part, most people don't. And this really is a minority on both sides that fall into this. Our side is absolutely right. But you know what? There's a lot of people in power that fall into this. That scares the shit out of me. I don't know, something for you people to think about? People that follow politics too seriously? Sorry, but you're chodes. That's all I got to say about you. Have a great day.